Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's noon, so good afternoon. Welcome to week 16, the week where everything kind of comes together when you're almost done. You can see it, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It is not an oncoming train. You're close. You're close. So I've been spending the weekend and this morning starting to read through the your final writings, giving you feedback, giving you some just giving you some feedback. Sitting here in my sweatshirt, got my Ted Lasso mug. I believe we can make it to the end. And I want to go ahead and walk you through a little bit about the week, what you can expect. I do have a cold, so excuse me for coughing and all of that. Thanks to my kids. Let's go ahead and walk through the week, and then I'll explain kind of what you can expect as we go. The first thing up is the plea. So these are things that you can do while you're waiting for me to give you back writing number 4. Sorry, I was thinking about my classes. Writing number 4. The plea is, don't you just love this kid? I just love this kid. Anyway, the plea is an opportunity for you to submit any minor assignment that you missed. You can't use it for any of the major essays. You cannot use it for any of the reflections. It's for something that you either received an incomplete on, maybe didn't meet the requirements, like a writing territory, for example. You didn't submit, like one of the reading responses. You can submit it for any one thing that you missed during the semester. This page kind of explains the steps, what you need to do in order to be able to submit that. But you need to complete it and submit it before you complete your semester grade reflection. So take a look at Canvas, see if you have any X's, and then you can just follow the steps here for submitting that plea. Again, it's optional. It's not required. It's just something that you can do if you choose. Next up is the end of semester class reflection. So some of you, if you tried to access this, I think I noticed it yesterday. I still had it on the spring form and then I changed it to the fall form. So if you completed this yesterday morning, I'm going to ask you to go back and do it again. But the fall form I changed because I changed some things in the class based on the feedback from the spring. But sorry, all that's to say, this class reflection is something that only goes to me. It's not for the school. It's not for the English department. It goes to me only. I've always asked students for their feedback on classes since I began teaching in '99. I think it's absolutely crucial that as educators we ask students what their experience has been like. And I can't think of anyone better than you to tell me what's working in the class, what didn't work. As a teacher, I always have some kind of a sense of where I might need to tweak things and change things, but I'm always making adjustments based on what students have to tell me. And I made a huge shift from spring to fall based on what students were talking about. And so it's an opportunity for you to give me some of that honest feedback. It can be anonymous. It's a Google form. It doesn't ask you for your name. You're welcome to provide it if you want, but really it's more of an opportunity for you to tell me about some things in the class. And there are specific questions that I ask because there's information that I want to know about what's working and what's not working. This is also your opportunity to suggest texts. If you did not think that Barefoot Gen was a good choice, or if Homegoing was a good choice, or the poems, or anything else, this is also your chance to say, hey, I didn't really feel comfortable reading this, or I would have rather read something else. By all means, give me a suggestion of a text or content or a topic that you would have wanted to read about. This is kind of your opportunity to give voice to some of what your thoughts are. So again, totally optional, encouraged, optional, all of that. Next up is how to prepare for the semester grade reflection. So my hope is to get you back writing number 4 by tomorrow. That's Tuesday. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's my goal. And so once I'm able to give that back to you, then the semester grade reflection will open up to you. What I would encourage you to do is to gather the work that you've done in this class. So the writing territories, your responses, your reflections, the literary lens pieces, kind of like all of that stuff. The easiest way to do it, if you already have a file in Google Drive, and maybe you have put everything into that file. It's kind of my suggestion at the beginning of the semester. But if you didn't do that, that's okay. The easiest way for you might be just to open up Canvas, and then you can kind of access your Canvas grades and then access everything from that point. But what will happen is the semester grade reflection will appear as a to-do page. It's going to be on your to-do list. It'll appear on your calendar. It'll appear on your dashboard. And on that page will be these exact same directions, and the link to the document that you will have to fill out. And that's what it is. It's a document that you're going to fill out. It's kind of like a reflection, kind of like the reflections that we've been doing this semester, but a little bit more in depth. It should take you probably an hour. It's taken some students 2 hours if they really want to dive deep. You don't necessarily just want to skim the surface, because this is essentially where you are going to be kind of evaluating your own self and your growth and supporting a grade and basically supporting and defending that proposal. So you're going to complete the handout, and then you're going to complete the quiz. Now, like all of our check-in quizzes, it's not really a true quiz in the quiz sense. But in the quiz, you will essentially then be uploading your document and then selecting a grade from a drop-down menu. Once you submit that quiz, I will be reading through the document, and in the quiz comments, that's where you and I will have any kind of negotiation. And so once you start seeing kind of notifications come up that you have responses in the quiz, that will either be an agreement with your proposal or a negotiation with your proposal. And so in the past, for the most part, students and I we've agreed, right? Occasionally there are disagreements, but for the most part, there's a lot of agreement. So anyway, keep up on your notifications. And again, I'm hoping that you will have access to this beginning on Wednesday. Okay, and I should also note, my goal is for you to have a good sense of what your grade is and to have all of that done by the end of this week, going into the weekend. My goal is to have all of that done by the weekend. You do have your final writing territory due, excuse me, by Friday. Grace period of Sunday. Stephen Colbert, Kermit the Frog. It's open. There's nothing new this week. Just I ask that you use at least 2 skills that you learned this semester. Last but not least, really it is the end. Again, the course feedback form, and then kind of my LMC email. Sometimes what happens in Canvas is once a student is no longer in an active course, we can no longer email each other via Canvas. And so if you want to be in touch, if you have any questions, if there's anything that I can help you with in the future, then absolutely I encourage you to send me an email at my LMC email. I plan on having spring office hours. And so feel free to come by my office. As I mentioned, you'll be able to see all my pictures of Morgan Freeman in my office. We can sit and talk books. My office is actually pretty cozy. So I'm around and available to help and just to meet you in person, face to face, in real life, IRL. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go back to reading your essays, and I will post another quick announcement once all of that is done and complete. So in the meantime, try and start doing some of these things to get you ready for that semester grade proposal. All right, hang in there. You're almost done.